lovely viewers. You are all welcome to another edition of Talk Show. In today's edition, I have two gentlemen in the house, Mr. Daniel Adam and Mr. Samuel Owusu, and a pretty lady, Miss Felicia Enim. You are all welcome to today's show.
Thank you.
It's great having you all in the house. Okay, so today our discussion is going to be based on our newly uploaded video on the TCM channel, Mindset Education, and it's about wrong thoughts or damaged thoughts. It's about the story concerning the Amazon River. The Amazon River is located in South America. It is said to be a very large river because about 1/5 of Earth's water is collected into the Amazon. Its mouth is open into the Atlantic Ocean, and also this river at its flooded stage, it floods into the ocean and thereby reducing the saltness of the ocean. These great features of the river make it so interesting that a lot of people want to tour on the river. But our story concerning the Amazon today is a little bit different because concerning the friends who have decided to tour on the sea. So from the onset, they began touring on the sea. Unknowingly to them, they were on the Amazon. They ran out of water. They were very thirsty and they didn't know what to do. But they had a thought. We are on the sea. And as you all know, the sea water is very salty, isn't it?
Yes. Of course.
So because of the saltiness, they had no idea what to do. They couldn't think of drinking from the sea either. And this caused them so much worry in their hearts. But well, I cannot discuss it alone. That is why I invited you on the show. So I hope we will dive into detail and see what was the reason why, even though they were on the sea, yet they were thirsty. Even though they were on the river, yet they were thirsty. Well, to begin with, what are wrong thoughts? When we say wrong thoughts or damaging thoughts, what at all are they?
Okay, Seraphine, I think I'd like to come in here.
Okay.
All right, so from my point of view, I think when we say wrong thoughts or damaging thoughts, wrong thoughts are actually things or ideas that we perceive, okay, and then we live with these feelings or thoughts over a very long period of time without us verifying whether this thing I'm feeling, whether this thought I'm having, whether it is true or not. Okay,
All right.
so I think that is what wrong thoughts are. For example, not too long I had a job, okay, and then at the workplace, as I started working, a colleague of mine just called me, and then she was like, you know, this woman, you need to be very careful about her because she's like this, she's like that. She said a whole lot of bad things about the woman. So she told me if I love my job and I want to protect my job, I need to be very careful about this woman. So as she told me this, I conceived this thought in my mind without me verifying. So I lived with this thought over a very long time, believing what she said, until I got to know that what she said about this woman wasn't true.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think wrong thoughts basically they are ideas or things or our feelings that we conceive and then we live with it over a period of time without us verifying.
I see. So you mean you were just having attitude towards this particular
I
woman?
gave her a gap actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see.
You know, the story that you just narrated, these people, this group of people that started out their journey on the sea, you know, because initially they started on the sea, they had this mind, yes, we are on the sea. So even when they run out of water, the mind of them fetching water from the sea was not there because the sea water is not something edible. Maybe it's not the water that we can drink because it's very salty. And so, even though on their way they met a ship, they tried to seek help from them, and even though those crew members tried to help them, they weren't able to get the information. You understand? But then the reality on the ground was that they are on the Amazon River.
Yeah.
But according to what you said earlier on, the Amazon River is such huge and deep that even larger vessels can travel on it. So when they saw the vessel or the ship, they thought, we are still on the sea. So it's not possible for them to fetch
Drink
water.
the water.
You understand?
Exactly, yeah.
And so I don't really blame them. Why? Because the situation there, nothing has really changed from the beginning. Because the Amazon River, when you get to know much of it, it looks like its hugeness and deepness also like it's same like the sea.
Okay.
So but for the intervention of one person among them who decided to take water, some of the water and drink, changed the whole situation. So in a nutshell, I will not begrudge them because of the situation at hand.
Okay.
And so, like you earlier said, until you verify something, you can't be on your own and say what I have is the right mind or right thoughts.
Mind.
I think so.
Wow.
That's what I
And
can
so
say.
you verify something, you can't say what I have is the right mind. Great. Okay. So from your contribution, you mean because they were touring on the sea from the beginning, and then due to the size of the Amazon River, they couldn't really differentiate
Yes, of course.
whether they have moved away from the sea into the
The
river.
river, yeah.
Wow.
So I think this story, one way or the other, is connected to my story I told you earlier on.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
get
I
it?
think I agree with
Uh-huh.
Madam Felicia.
Exactly.
You know, when she said that, she had a job and in the course of, all the necessary meetings for her to proceed with the job, a friend told her that, be careful, beware of this woman.
Interesting.
Beware of this woman. And all of a sudden, she started having this kind of, perception that this woman is not good. So having this narrow mind about this woman made her to push her away completely.
Yeah.
Okay. But this very woman also had, a very nice part of her that she's not known.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But the mind that beware of this woman made her, to really push this woman away. Now, when we look at the story we are looking at today
Okay.
about the Amazon River,
Okay.
actually these people, this group of people, traveling on the sea, they managed to enter into the Amazon, but could not notice that it was the Amazon they were on
Yeah.
because of how large, and broad the Amazon was.
Okay.
We have our minds are able to conceive variety of thoughts. Okay,
Yeah.
our minds are as broad as the Amazon.
Okay.
It can contain a whole lot of thoughts. But it depends on us, okay, to verify whether the thought I am receiving
Okay.
is right or not.
Okay.
Because these people, they were on the sea, they ran out of water. When they entered into the Amazon, they didn't know that they were in the Amazon.
Okay.
Should they know, they could have easily fetched the water and drunk it.
Okay.
Yep.
But they not knowing made them to be, enclosed in their narrow mind. So because of this, they were thirsty and trying to survive, with the thirst. You understand?
Yeah.
Trying to survive with the thirst. Eventually, when the crew, they met, tried to give them helping hand by giving them some information as to the water around them is drinkable. But they didn't know. What I'm saying is that whether or not they knew that they were on the Amazon, what they were supposed to do was at least to try something. Okay.
Something
Try
like
something.
what?
Example. They know very well that the Amazon
They
could be
were
closed.
on
You
an-
understand? Okay, fine. They could have the idea that the Amazon could be closed
Mhm.
because they were traveling on the sea. So at least they being in this perplexed situation, they could have tried. Oh, let me taste this water.
How
Whether-
serious
whether-
is that?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
just tasting it. You
Yes,
just taste
let me taste this water and see whether
You've gotten to the
we've gotten
river.
to the river or not.
Okay, see,
You get it?
let me ask this one. As you said earlier on, they were on the sea traveling. You understand? And also mentioned that they didn't know whether they've crossed from the sea
To the Amazon.
Exactly.
And so
And-
half,
no, in the
which mind
instant-
will come? In the first, who would think? You yourself, would you think that, even the tasting quite will not come because
A very good
when we
scenario.
taste,
Okay.
Wait, hold on a bit. Hold on a bit.
Okay, please calm down. It's getting interesting here.
They were traveling from the sea. They entered into the Amazon without knowing.
Okay.
What should they have done? They are thirsty. At least, even if they don't know, they should have tried something. You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
So, supposing they had tried even to taste the water, they would have found out that, this water is drinkable.
So maybe confirming, yes, exactly, it is seawater, just like that, something
Yes.
like that.
So it means those guys held on to their thoughts all this
Exactly.
while. Though they could just have dipped their finger in this water.
To
to
Exactly.
taste, but
To
then
verify
it was
whether the thought they had
was right.
was
right.
right
Oh.
or not.
So, as you all said, just like the situation these people find themselves in as they traveled on the Amazon River without knowing, we all have different situations. Sometimes we meet difficulties, we meet challenges, but actually the situation in which we are is really not a problem. But the mind or the thoughts we have about that situation makes it a big deal or not.
yeah,
So if these people, even though they were on the sea, they were on the sea as they thought.
initially.
Yes, as they thought. Even though they had moved already into the Amazon River without they knowing, if they had just tried to verify, okay, so as we discussed, okay, let me taste the water and see. In my mind, I've been traveling on the sea. I don't know if by now I had moved into the river or not.
Exactly.
If they had just this mind a bit, they could have they could have drunk water
Then
long
enough water.
while ago. But until that single person came out and decided, whatever happens, I will drink the salt water, even if I'll be dehydrated. And amazingly, it was not the salt water as they perceived. Rather, it was a river. And they could all drink and they could all be very happy. So really, I see this story, not just their story, but a story for our lives, our personal lives. If we can apply this by verifying every situation we find ourselves in, then it's going to be a great joy, happiness, and what have you in our lives. And it will reduce chaos, fights, because most of the fights that occur is due to rumors. You just hear a rumor and you stand on that rumor, destroying a long built relationship that is able to take your life into a better place. So I hope that we would decide to verify even the little thoughts that occur to us. And it's been so nice and interesting having this conversation with you all on today's show. And I hope my lovely viewers out there have also learned a thing or two about verification as we live our lives, even though we meet many situations, but the thoughts we have about the situation determine what kind of life that we live. To conclude today's discussion, it is true that even though we may receive many thoughts, but the thoughts that occur to us, we need to verify before we take action. If we verify, we will be able to get down to the truth before we move, and our life is going to be so joyful and happy. I believe we've all learned a thing or two from today's discussion. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to our Facebook channel, and also you like and share the video onto your friends and family to also learn what you've learned. Thank you very much, and see you next time on The Talk Show. Bye-bye.